Carmella-T. And if you are new to the channel, we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And it's our way to give the earth a little hug. And if you're coming back, thank you for so much for coming back. So we've been doing a lot of crochet lately, and I had a wonderful crochet class the other night. A few of the participants, several of them made some really beautiful things. One made two made hats, and a vest. And these are a works in process. One of them finished their hat, and another made fingerless gloves, all granny squares. And they could see just how easy, once you have your granny squares together and you just start kind of, placing them together on what you want to make, like building your masterpiece, so to speak. It's so much fun. So the class did an absolutely beautiful job. I gotta tell you, between yesterday and today, so you can probably tell my voice is low, but I kind of developed a sore throat overnight. So I thought I better get on here today because I've been wanting to do this stitch with you. And I thought if I wait another day, tomorrow I might not. Maybe I'm worse, maybe I'm not. So anyway, for those of you who are experienced, you will follow this very quickly. Even if you're not, you'll follow it. So I already did. You do a couple of chain rows. I probably could have done another chain row for a foundation. I feel like with this particular piece, that's how I would have liked to have done it, is at least 2 chain rows, but I did one. And so with that, I'm just going to tell you right now, for those of you, I know you're already wondering, yes, at the end of the row you do chain 1, okay? And then you begin your row, and you're going to see me work in the back post. You don't need to work in the back post. You can work in the full chain space, but I am working in a back post. Okay, just you will notice that's kind of a signature of mine. Does it change the design of the stitches slightly? Yes, it does, but it's still a moss stitch. So with that, you're simply going in your very first um, space, whatever it is, whether you're going in the back post or you're just going into the space. Go into the space, do a slip knot. That's all you're doing is a slip knot. Okay? And then in the very next stitch, you're doing a double crochet. Okay? Then close it. Then don't do any chains or anything. Go into your very next space and you do a slip knot. And then the next space, half double crochet. That is what the moss stitch is. That's what it is. And so you're going to go into your next space. Now, I noticed there are some variations of this, and when they're using variations, they're calling it like a different name. Like they're still calling it the moss stitch, but they may add their own little description to it, which is totally fine because let me make sure I did my chain 4. Not chain 4, I'm sorry. Half double crochet. So you do your half double crochet, close it, do a slip knot. Okay, next stitch, it's just a toggle between that half double crochet. Your next stitch is a slip knot. Okay, and you're going to notice the ridges because my little variation of this is the fact I'm working in the back loop. Okay, you don't have to work in the back loop. And we'll do another one. I'll check it out and see. It would not be dramatically. Whoops. You see that? This is the thing with crochet. When you're doing the crochet, it's like you could accidentally do those two same stitches in a row, you know what I mean? So what we're doing, for those of you scrolling, we're doing what is the moss stitch. So the moss stitch starts with each row. Each row, every time you turn, you're doing a slip knot, okay? And then you're doing the next stitch, you're doing a half double crochet. So it toggles all the way through your entire pattern, very simply put, between a slip knot and then your half double crochets. And I like to just kind of give the concept like that, because when you don't, and they kind of have you holding on from stitch to stitch, you think it's going to change. So this isn't changing. This is what it does. Okay, I did my slip knot. It goes from it begins with your, I'm going to show you in a minute here. It begins with your slip knot, and with each row, and then goes to your half double crochet. Now, if you don't know how to do a half double crochet, just look it up. It is not difficult. It is not difficult at all. Okay. Oops, let me get this through. There's my slip knot. Now, here's my slip knot, right at the end of the row. I'm going to do a chain. I'm going to turn, because we're going to go back, right? And I'm going to do a chain in the first stitch. I'm sorry, not a chain. I'm sorry. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to do a slip knot in my first stitch. I just got to get where I can see on my hook here. Go in, do a slip knot. You're going to start each row with a slip knot. And then your very next stitch, you're going to do a half double crochet. And then you're going to continue like that. I want to show you how pretty this stitch is. So hold it. Your foundation row, I think, should be a couple of rows of your chain, or a couple of single crochet, in my opinion. But because the pieces is a lot to it, it's heavy. Look how pretty it is. Now the ridges on this particular piece is because I worked in the back post. So that's just my variation, okay? And but the basic stitches are, again, for those of you scrolling, slip knot, and then your next stitch is your half double crochet, and then you just go to slip knot, and then you go next stitch, half double crochet, next stitch, space, your slip knot, next half double crochet. You know what this also reminds me of is when you do a single crochet, you do a half double crochet, you do a double crochet, and you do a treble or triple. And you go back and do a double, and then you do half double, and then you do single. Do you know what that makes? It's kind of like a little, it's really like, to me, it's like flowers. It's very pretty. I don't want to say the word chevron. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know the real technical name of that. But that's one of the very first things I learned when I was a teeny tiny little kid. Whoops, I almost did a single. Okay, so I'm doing, oops. There we go, slip stitch. Okay, so I'll just finish this row with you. And so it's half double crochet, and then Slipknot is my phone. I'll have to call them back. And half half double crochet, slipknot. And so, you're not working with any chains. You're not skipping any spaces. You're just going from stitch to stitch. Okay? So I hope that that helps. I hope that you try it. And I think it's a very, very, very pretty. I really like it. I guess I kind of threw it off the skew a little bit with working in the back post, but I really, really like the back post because you see the ridges. So anyway, with that, that's the moss stitch. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, I would put a more of a foundation, and I may actually do this again and come back on with that foundation because I think that I see the curves there, and I'm like, okay, I think that would make a little bit of a difference. So with that, you have a beautiful day. A love and light.